Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nayri, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. Today, we are talking about the 3 most common wedding dress malfunctions that happen on wedding day. Before we get into this, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, anything you want to know about, anything I can show you, I am here for you. All right. Top 3 wedding dress malfunctions that happen on wedding day. The first one is going to be an off-the-shoulder strap or a sleeve, some sort of ripping with the sleeve happening. We're gonna get into this. The second most common thing is a zipper breaking on wedding day. Third most common thing is a bustle breaking, perhaps because somebody stepped on it or your gown was heavy. I'll get into all the details. First things first, a sleeve. So if you have an off-the-shoulder or a strap or potentially a long sleeve dress, the most common things that happen here, and typically brides have reported back to me, if it's been an off-the-shoulder strap or just a straight up strap, when they go to throw the bouquet over the shoulder, that's when it has potentially snapped off. And for other brides who have worn long sleeve dresses, it's usually the seam under the armpit that comes undone and completely tears, and that has to do with hugging, dancing with the hands in the air, or even when you throw the bouquet. So rule of thumb, if you are wearing anything with an off-the-shoulder long sleeve, those 2 are going to limit your mobility, and you want to move really gently to avoid these things from happening. A strap, typically you're totally fine in terms of raising your arms. You have a little bit mobility in just a straight strap, kind of like what I'm wearing. So an off the shoulder would limit along with a long sleeve. You want to be mindful of these things as you move around on wedding day, just so that these things don't happen. However, I was in New York one time and I was wearing a dress that had a little bit of a slit in the back of it, and as I lifted my leg to go into the taxi cab, the seam snapped and the entire back of my dress ripped completely, and my entire booty was out for all of New York City to see. Luckily, I had a coat and I was able to cover it. These are things that happen. At the end of the day, it's an article of clothing. Things can go wrong, so you want to be sure to have a sewing kit on hand. At Lovella Bridal, every single Lovella bride leaves with a sewing kit on hand, but you definitely want to make sure that it is readily available wherever you are on wedding day, because things can happen and you should expect them to happen. I also call this the OSHIT plan. So you want to have an OSHIT plan in place to prevent any type of malfunction happening, to reduce anxiety and stress on wedding day so that you know what to do when these things arise. Now, when it comes to zippers breaking, so zippers breaking, it is not the manufacturer's nor is it the zipper's fault. Oftentimes the zipper breaking is because the gown, it's user error. Whoever zipped up this dress on you went too quick, it wasn't aligned properly. Think of a time that you zipped up a hoodie or a jacket and you went to go zip it up real quick and it was off track and the whole thing rips. The same thing happens with a wedding dress. So because these gowns are fit really snug on you, you're going to want 2 people to zip up your zipper, and you're going to want to have someone that holds the zipper really close together and another person who's holding the zipper and holding the bottom of the dress. So you're going up little by little by little. You want to keep the zipper super straight and go in little increments. You do not want to just zip it all the way up. That's when things go wrong. So just be mindful of that. Ask your stylist and alteration department to show you. Practice zipping the zipper while you're in the alterations department, and make sure you identify who are the people that are zipping you into the dress, and they practice even buttoning if you have buttons that need to be done and all of that. When it comes to buttons as well, I'm just gonna toss this in here as a little bonus. Sometimes when you go to do the loops of the button, a button can pop off or the loop can also pop off. Again, you wanna have a sewing kit. Things like this do happen. It's normal. You just wanna be prepared just in case that it does. The third most common fail that happens on wedding day is the bustle. So the bustle, for those of you who do not know, majority of bridal gowns have a train. That train is bustled by your seamstress. So essentially what happens, it's a way for the train to be gathered up, to be pinned to typically where your skirt flares out. So if you're wearing a ball gown, the bustle is done where the skirt is flaring out, or a fitted dress, the bustle is done where that skirt is flaring out closer to your knees. That being said, bustles are done in many different forms. There can be strings that tie to loops that go to buttons. There's so many different ways that a bustle can be done. A bustle is not done by the manufacturer of the dress. It is done in the alteration department. So the seamstress designs your bustle based on your height and also based on the style of the dress that's the most suitable for that gown and your height, your dimensions, all that. They will teach you how to do the bustle. So you'll want to video that and make sure that they've taught you properly how to do it. And again, you've assigned someone, you know how much time it's going to take so that there are no issues there. The most common failure of the bustle is there's two components to the failure. One is my people couldn't figure out how to bustle the dress, so we just didn't bustle it all night because they couldn't figure out the bustle. That's why you want to take video of the bustle so that everyone knows how to do it, just in case perhaps the person that you took with you to your fitting maybe drank too much, is having a little too much fun, and they're not available. You never know. They may not be available to do the bustle, the original person who learned it. So this is why at Lovella Bridal, we recommend that we take a video. We actually force you to take a video of the bustle, and we tell you to send it to everyone that would potentially be near you to help you do the bustle, i.e. your wedding planner, your best friend, everybody. Send it to everyone that you can so that they can learn it. The second biggest malfunction in terms of the bustle is going to be someone stepping on it and ripping it. So potentially the buttons falling off or the loops, all of that anything can happen. That being said, you want to have safety pins on hand so you can quickly safety pin it up and call it a day. Those are the three most common wedding dress malfunctions, and I've just given you solutions and an OSHIT plan for you to help prevent those things from happening on wedding day. For more videos like this, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.